guys ready? Ready to rock?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So we got a lucky guest here. We got our buddy James, and we got Mike. Do you go by Mike or Michael? What do you prefer? Mike's fine. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourselves. What do you guys do? Rock and roll.
My name is James Michaels. I'm the chief instructor at Pro Black Belt Academy, Flower Mound. Teach martial arts for the last 15 years, off and on. I've done other stuff as well, from construction work all the way to just managerial stuff like that. So, yeah, happy to be here, guys.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, all right. Mike Gregoritsch. I'm the franchise owner for Flower Mound.
Yeah.
I used to take martial arts for many years. Haven't done it in a short bit, but really love the experience of it. Think it was life impact changing for me. And so, yeah.
That's fantastic. So for anybody who doesn't know, I'm Alex Palma. I am with YOLO Nerd. If you're not automating, you're not dominating. Go for it.
Yeah, Brent Tinsley, headshot professional. We make you look better online so you can make more money. Nice and simple.
Cool. So, I mean, the way I came across this studio, it's actually kind of like a father and son moment. And what happened is we've tried everything for our son. We tried soccer. We tried football. We tried baseball. None of it worked. And he would just go out in the field and just start crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. We're just trying to get him to do, something outside of, besides coming home from school. And then I met James through actually the Flower Mound Chamber of Commerce. And James was like, yeah, we're opening up a studio. I'm like, well, where at? Like, right next to the Kroger. I'm like, okay, cool. And so when he first started, we went in and he says, just leave, go ahead and leave your son with me and we'll see what happens. And dude, immediately my son just was drawn to James and that academy. And at that moment, I'm like, sign him up. Let's go. Here we go. I kind of like a dad moment. It's like, man, it's almost like a teary moment as a father. Like, I'm trying to find something for this kid to do. So finally, he found something that he loves. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so one thing I like about Pro Black Belt Academy, man, is the experience. Go more into that, James. What's your secret, man?
Man, I love martial arts, and there's nothing I really love more than martial arts besides maybe my family. And even then, I wish I still had more time to train and be a part of it. But I want the kids also to have the same experience that I grew up with. I had a wonderful instructor that made martial arts interesting and fun and completely different from every other sport that I was a part of, because I also did soccer and football and baseball, and I'd be like in the outfield doing cartwheels, running in the other direction of the goal in soccer, and just could never really settle me down. So I think as a young boy, having structure that martial arts does offer, and also allowing for the program to be interesting and fun, and you're learning new things, you're setting goals for the kids. A lot of times with sports, there's no goal to be set than just to be good and to be a good participant. And so to take that out and to tell the kid this is an individual journey, it's up to you if you want to get it done, I think that's very powerful.
And so maybe Mike and both of you can help me answer this question. So what makes – there's a lot of martial arts academies out here, especially in Texas, and depends wherever, right? But what makes Pro Black Belt Academy more unique than the others? And I can already answer this question, but, I want to hear from you because my family loves it. Obviously, my kid can't stop.
Right. Well,
yeah. I'll say a couple things.
Go for it.
What I liked about it, we got into it because my daughter had started doing it, and again, she wasn't big into sports, and she didn't love it at first too. So it took a minute, but I thought it was important for her to kind of learn some martial arts. But also, I found that it wasn't just focused on martial arts, kicking and punching. It was focused on character development. There's constant reinforcement from the instructors, right, to make sure the kids are interested, engaged, and staying on top of things, and then rewarding them almost on a daily basis, right, for their participation and for the things that they're accomplishing and doing. And so that the constant reinforcement, that constant personal growth of the kids and building that confidence in them and seeing them change over the years is just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think holding kids accountable to what they do in my studio as well as outside of the studio is a big part of it. Kids want responsibility. They crave it. They want to be independent. And so to kind of set up the environment to give it to them and their independence and also to hold them
Wait, not my
accountable.
little princess. I mean, she's my Texas tornado. I mean, she'll rip my house into shreds. I think she's more into...
Yes.
We'll go for it, sorry.
No, absolutely. I think everybody craves that, and to be able to allow for the kids to have progress and to get awards for the progress, and every class, we give stars out. Every class, I tell them how good that they're doing, and it's incremental progress over time. Martial arts is a journey, and so if you don't set up the goals and to let them see the end goal early on, people will lose interest, the same as other sports as well. So I think having the structure and the environment with our studio of constant rewarding their good behavior, and also to hold them accountable when they're not acting like they should, I think that's a big part of it.
I think that's a big thing. Character development. I'm ex-military, and I feel like in a lot of society now, people are soft. I'm not saying you should be out there cracking your kids and things like that, but there is a level of people want to be their kid's friend. There's not all this hard parenting. Like I grew up in, I was born in 80, so I'm 45, and I mean, there was a fear of God, there was a fear of your parents in the Bible Belt that you felt, and you're going to hell. There was fire and brimstone, you know what I mean? But I think there's a balance in today's society where parents, I think to be able to bring them in somewhere to have that level of accountability, structure, build confidence. And if you're not a natural born athlete, I do feel like martial arts is one of those areas you can still continue to improve, but you're not on a team where you're the bench player or the guy sitting there not doing anything. Everyone's participating. Everyone's on their own journey. Even though it's still kind of a group environment, you're still on your own path. And you don't have to sit there and compare yourself exactly to everybody. There's different levels of people. It's almost like a Montessori school sort of thing, or I don't know. It's like a group environment where you have people that are black belts and you've got people that are white belts, and there's always going to be people coming in, but you guys kind of train together, I'm assuming, right? Sort of. I mean, there might be some age brackets or weight class, but
Absolutely. We train together on level of competence, so you can kind of gauge where the kids are at through their belt ranks. So we try to separate the classes kind of where they're at in their belt ranking. So for my 7 to 12-year-olds, for instance, we have we actually have 4 brackets of where they would be placed at. The first one would be my Gladiators program, where they go in, they learn all of the basics that they need really to survive a good sparring match. And then they move up into my next program, which would be the Spartans. That's when we start the sparring. So everything that you've learned for the last 6 months, now let's put it into action. Let's test it out. That's a very delicate moment in a child's experience with martial arts, because they go from learning a lot of stuff now to using it. And the probability that they'll actually use it right away, it's a little slim, because a lot of times they don't want to get hit, so they'll stand out. They might circle around each other, and so to coach them to engage with each other and to have that battle without fear is a very important time. But we try to make it to where you're at in your journey is the class that you're going to be at. Everybody's going to train together. We're going to get better as a group. We're going to recognize the different belts. We're going to line up according to belt order. So if you're a white belt, you're coming in, maybe you're at the end of the line. And then if you've worked hard and you've advanced through your belts, then you're going to be sitting in the front of the line. If as a white belt, you want to be in the front of the line. And then eventually those kids will graduate from the front of the line to a new class. And then it starts over. Now you're at the back of the line again. And you're moving on up. So I think having that constant ability to grow as a kid and to have the responsibility for improving yourself, that's really important.
How does Pro Black Belt Academy help, with like discipline, confidence, responsibility maybe? I know that, little Alejandro, he gets out of whack sometimes.
Right.
He's a 6-year-old. So how does that work?
I think a lot of parents are, and people in general, they think that discipline comes from rules and punishment, let's say. But at a young age, true discipline comes from learning how to maneuver your body in a way that you have never done before, and to hone in on your balance, your technique, and to have that mind-body connection that you wouldn't get unless you're actively working towards it. And so if you can learn how to control your body, then you're going to be a little bit more focused with your emotions. You're going to be a little bit better under pressure because you've already had to contend with yourself. And there's nothing harder than contending with yourself and your own insufficiencies, and to kind of pinpoint where you're insufficient at. Because some kids, they're wonderful. They come in, they're talented. They already have balance naturally. Other kids, they lack the balance. They lack the strength to do some of the movements. So I think finding where you're at and then learning that you can overcome those obstacles will give you confidence that you can do other things, more challenging things, and the discipline and the confidence come through the training as you develop yourself. So
I think part of the confidence and the discipline also comes from the pride they get, right? I mean, if you look at our uniforms, they're very impressive uniforms, and you see the one kid with the stars, right? He's getting rewarded for paying attention, doing what the instructor's telling him. He's got tape on his belt, on the ends of his belt, because he's accomplished a level of jiu-jitsu or taekwondo or whatever that is. So they're constantly reinforcing the kids and what they're doing, and it just gives them pride. And they can stand there and come out of the classrooms to their parents, right, with their heads held high, like, I accomplished something today. I was rewarded today by the instructor, and I did a good job to earn it.
And you guys are mixed martial arts. So you've got different disciplines?
Correct.
It's blended martial arts.
Blended?
Mixed martial arts. A lot of people associate that with like cage fighting and stuff. No, it's blended because we do taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing.
Yeah, my kid's in cage fighting right now. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So I've got
That's the next level.
I've got 3 boys. One is full on traveling the country soccer. The other 2, right now, I have them in a jiu-jitsu program, and one of the boys is a born athlete. He can do any sport. The other one is completely clumsy and ADD, not paying attention at all. And my philosophy as a parent is like, hey man, you're gonna have to focus when you're getting your butt handed to you. You know what I mean? You're on the mat, But it's also it's a balance of you have to stay focused because you're doing it. Versus like when you're in baseball and you're in left field and you're just sitting there for. We've been at these games. I mean, you've got to really be focused. I mean, you've got to be an animal to stay focused. Even for me as a parent, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, I can't believe these teams they're doing. Some of them are doing mixed coach pitching with t-ball. I'm like, these kids are like 4 years old. These 6-year-olds are crushing them. I'm like, this is horrible. But I enjoy. This is pretty interesting. So, like you guys, this is a franchise system. You're Flower Mound. Mm-hmm. How's the backstory? How did this come around, and how long has the system been together? Not just the Flower Mound studio, but for the.
Yeah, well, our founder is Master Hudson. He's the 9th degree black belt. Has been doing this for decades. I want to say 50 years.
Is that a Grandmaster? Is that what it is? Grandmaster?
Grandmaster.
Yeah, I'm learning. See, I learned
Don't
from
come
your
after
studio.
me, buddy. Very talented man. But we moved to Texas about 6 years ago. My daughter had a lot of, was working on her confidence and just, who she was, and she wasn't very athletic. And so we got her into this program at the Founders School. And it just did so much for her. It changed her. Like, she was shy going to school. She wouldn't talk in front of the class. She wouldn't get up for the class performances, right, for singing, to the point where she would cry and be just too scared to do it.
It's
and
like
so
the same thing I went through.
Yeah, now she's very bold. She'll get in front of anybody and talk to anybody, which is amazing. But it was a lot to do with this program and building her confidence and that. So we saw that, and Buddy approached me, Master Hudson, and said, hey, thinking about franchising, would you be interested? And most definitely. If we can impact other kids the way this has influenced our daughter and improved her standing in life and confidence, like, we would definitely want to be a part of that.
Kind of ties to my next question is, so we're going to totally sell it. Let's sell it. What is the benefits for a parent if they bring one of the kiddos over to Pro Black Belt Academy? What benefits a parent?
Well, I think parents have an idea of what they want for their kid, and I want what the parents want as well. And so I'm kind of the third party that comes in and reinforces. I talk to the parents, and I have a good understanding what the goals are for their child, and I try to implement those in my class as well. And so some parents, they're just looking for a fun activity for their kid. Wonderful. Let's have a fun activity for the kid. They're going to leave smiling every class. But other parents, they want a little bit more structure. They have a ADHD kid who's a mess at school, a mess in their personal life, and they want, they tell the kid all the time how they should act. I'm just kind of there to reinforce what the parents are saying. So it allows for the parents to ease off, and we've seen a lot of good change in some of my students that have joined our academy, and the parents are like, wow, there's like a night and day difference. My son's more contained now, in everything that they do, and I love hearing that.
So they're learning self-discipline. They're learning to be able to express their emotions in a healthy way.
Right.
Which I don't think they're learning in school generally. Even my kids at Montessori school, they kind of worked on that a little bit, but my kids got so soft going to Montessori school. I thought it was great. But they were soft.
I think one of the great things James does when they come in is he asks the parents, "What are your goals?" Right? Is it martial arts? None of them ever say that. The goal is discipline, focus, confidence. And so that's what we work on with them. So.
And it kind of ties to my next question. Why do you think martial arts is getting more popular now? Is it because of that?
Bruce Lee, man.
Yeah. Oh.
That's why I did karate.
The Karate Kid movie just came out, so that always helps.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee. All right, so what's the big resurgence, I guess? Because I remember in the '80s, Bruce Lee. I remember even the paper book. I don't know how you learn martial arts from a book, but I remember the books. I don't know why, man. I was a Chuck Norris. You had, Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris were probably two big ones for me. This is way before these guys. I'm talking about old school.
Oh, old school. Okay.
Yeah, Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris were two big ones. I think that really I think martial arts in the United States, I think they really brought it to popularity, and then Jackie Chan on some French people, but he became popular much later. But I think, where do you guys see the interest from parents? Are they seeking out martial arts, or they just hear from someone else's referral? Like, man, my kid's behavior has improved. You guys got to take them this program. Like, how? Like, is it just various ways?
I hear it both ways. Either the kid's interested because the Cobra Kai series came out.
Okay,
and
Cobra Kai. Karate Kid,
kids obsessed with Cobra Kai or the Karate Kid, and they want to be a part of this. They want to learn martial arts, and then I do have some parents also that are like, we want to bring our kid in here because we're friends with these parents, and their kids are phenomenal over like the course of 6 months. Like, what did y'all do? What did y'all do different? And they're like, well, we took them to this martial arts studio, and we've seen a big improvement in our son's behavior and their focus and the way that they handle themselves. So I think that we have a blend of interests, but jiu-jitsu has really been taken off here in the United States as well, probably for the last 25 years. And I think that's been...
on my computer. These are all connected into everything.
No, you're okay.
You're good.
No, but jiu-jitsu's taken off in a way that we haven't really seen another martial arts taken off. I think primarily through the UFC, and that's kind of built a lot of interest around martial arts in general. Like, which style is the best? What can I teach my kid? I'm not a big believer in that any style is the best. I believe that it's the practitioner. And so what better way to become a well-rounded practitioner than to learn the respect of karate and taekwondo and the structure that each one of those have to offer with good boxing and good jiu-jitsu with some wrestling takedowns and stuff like that. So I think having a blended system is really crucial in their development as a martial artist.
Brent, you mentioned earlier school, and I think for me as a girl dad, my daughter wasn't getting a lot out of school, focus and, rewards and any of that. But also I think, the world seems a lot more dangerous and scary these days. And so again, as the father of a daughter, I want her to be prepared when she's an adult to be able to take care of herself and walk into a parking lot and not fear for what's going to happen. But she has some confidence that she can actually take care of herself.
So this isn't just for show. This is actual practical. Y'all are actually doing sparring and things too, where they get experience.
Yes.
Because when you're in that moment, it's a different reaction than like, oh, I trained this kata or I trained this form.
Correct.
You're like, no, it's in the moment. And I think the mix of striking with doing the blended martial arts is the best of both worlds. If you're trying to get out of a hold or you're trying to just defend yourself. And for everybody out there, the best defense is always just avoiding it in the first place and getting out of there.
Yes.
I've been in plenty of shady situations. getting away from the situation at possible is always better than defending yourself in court for taking someone out. But
Yes.
yeah, that's interesting. I could see as a definitely as a female too, being able to have that confidence and awareness of her body. I see that too with my kids in the jiu-jitsu. Some of the girls are some of the better students in class. I mean, they're taking these guys down. I mean, it could be a guy 50 pounds heavier and she's freaking got him wrapped up, man. He's like tapping out, which is pretty cool to see. I imagine those guys, the dads are like, yeah, that's my daughter. You know what I mean? Like,
That's me. Yeah. And my daughter, sparring, she's gotten knocked in the face a few times
Ooh.
by bigger boys, right? She doesn't love that, but it teaches her to keep her guard up. But also, she does other things as well. And she got knocked in the face by a horse the other day at horseback riding. It was a pretty big clock, but she got up and walked it off. And I think, I talked to her about it. I think it's because she knows what a hit to the face feels like.
Ooh.
It wasn't a shock and something that
It
she
wasn't
should be
like the
scared
first
of and
guy,
feared of, right? And you see kids, right, who maybe get hit in the face by a ball or something like that. They've never done it before, so they get cry because they're scared. They didn't know to expect that, but she just walked it off like, I'm good. Another day.
There you go.
yeah, no, I think it's a controlled balance. You don't have to be an abusive parent to get your kids to handle the reaction better. But no, but even for my kids, I don't helicopter parent. I'm like, hey, look, you got to get hit and feel it and experience.
My
it,
wife thinks I'm a
get
food police, because they love the snacks.
It's all about the snacks.
We were looking at, after we tried all the sports, we're looking at all the resorts, right? So we started looking at karate, and it was a lot. And I found yours to be more unique, more personalized. And I'm not bashing the other studios, but I am kind of a little bit, because the other studios, it's just, I would walk in and it's just like kids all over. It was chaos. And then I noticed coming to your studio, straight discipline, the kids lined up. I'm like, whoa, something's different here. You go in and you're in sensei mode. And I just noticed right away. And like towards the end of that first session with Alex, it was just, he was like listening, and he was actually cool with it. And I had to call it ninja school, sorry. But my question is for Mike is, I didn't realize that there was actually a franchise for academy schools for karate schools and martial arts. What would you say is some of the best supports that the support they're providing for you for Pro Black Belt Academy?
Yeah. So we're actually the first franchise for Pro Black Belt Academy.
Wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
we're the first
Okay.
one. So we're breaking new ground. The founder learning as we're going, and we are too. But great support, right? He's got a whole team at his primary location. They support us. They help us, gain membership. We did a big kick fest at the Flower Mound location.
Yeah.
His whole team came over, and we had bounce houses and just had fun with the kids, right? It was during a belt testing ceremony, so we did that, then celebrated and had ice cream and everything. So they're very supportive, right? We use their tools and systems as kind of foundational. How do we get it off the ground?
Mm-hmm.
They were there every step of the way as we opened our doors and made sure that, we had what we needed to be successful, right? Because if you don't know what you're doing, which I didn't, you need somebody to coach you along and help you.
Yeah. Cool. Another thing as well is, and if anybody's interested out there that's want to own a franchise in Pro Black Belt Academy, what does that look like for the support system on a monthly basis? Do you guys have like a weekly meeting? Do you guys catch up with the HQ? How does it work? Or is it like once a month catch up, or check on metrics and numbers, what you should be doing, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. We meet several times. Well, we talk several times a week, right? There's just a lot happening. It's moving fast, and it's been great experience. And we do meet once a month. I meet with these guys once a week, but then they have all the support too, right? So if they have a question about, hey, this member maybe wants to put their account on hold or has a question about the system, they have a resource to call, right? Because I couldn't answer that question. It's got to be somebody who's been in the karate industry for years and knows the best answers and the best methods on how to handle it, right? So, any business owner, there's always these questions that pop up or unique circumstances, and we have a resource to call, like, hey, what do you do in a situation like this? Because they've been running the school for decades, and they know all the ins and outs. And
are they located here? Or where
they're
they
in
located?
Prosper, Texas. The headquarters is there, and they give us this huge manual of operations manual. So it tells James kind of the curriculum for the classes. It tells me as the owner, hey, what do we need to be thinking about on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis? And how do we grow the students? How do we encourage the growth? How do we retain our current students? You know, things to focus on that are important to any business.
That's awesome, man. Another question I had for you is, like, for anybody that's interested in opening a franchise with Pro Black Belt Academy, what does that usually take to get started? How does that work?
Yeah,
is it an application process? There's a
There is.
Okay.
Master Hudson has a website, and you fill out your request, right? He's got the region broken off into territories. So, you know, he doesn't want two studios too close to each other because then they compete against each other.
Yeah.
So he's kind of already vetted it out of where the next locations are and their prime locations. And then he was with us every step of the way when we were scouting out to find where we wanted to be, right? So he helped us find the location at Flower Mound, and just kind of helped us negotiate some of the lease and deals with that.
That area is hot, man. That area is hot.
It's booming.
Wonderful area. Yeah.
He's got general contractors, right, that came in and helped us, you know, what does the build out look like, get some estimates and quotes. So, and he's got an insurance company, right, that kind of helps insure a martial arts studio. It's a very unique niche thing. Not anybody will just insure it. You kind of have to know the people that do that. So
The other thing too, you got vendors list for your uniforms, belts, mats.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it than you. I think you're like, I'm gonna open up a business. You're like, wait a minute, there's a lot more to it. You know?
it was all very cookie cutter for getting all the equipment we need. Even the van, we have a van that picks up kids from school for after school. It's all wrapped nice and neat with their marketing and our marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So you do after school programs where you're cleared from certain schools to pick up?
Yeah, we have a after school leadership program. So again, it's for our students. We pick them up after school so the parents don't have to worry about taking them from school at a certain time and getting them there for the classes. But also when they get to our studio, they spend time with them going over things like integrity, right? Honesty. Like every week has a theme, and they spend time with the kids doing that. So it's not just come and sit and it's a daycare. That's not the intent of it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of
focused
works out for
program.
those parents that, like, hey, because what time does school end at 3?
Yeah, no, it's
And
way
then
too early.
I
as
get
a
off at
working
5.
parent, yeah, it's gonna say I
These
gotta
guys can
go
run
here
home
and get
and
my
pick
kids here a little bit. It's I'm like oh man, hold on.
Yeah. Next question would be, this is for you, James. So let's just say somebody's not near Pro Black Belt Academy. What should they look for in a good martial arts school?
You want to make sure that the instructor is really vested in the growth of your child or you as an individual, to constantly grow in your martial arts training, but also mentally grow as well. So, you know, I'll push them into uncomfortable situations during belt tests. A lot of people, they fear public speaking, for instance. So I'll have them speak in front of everybody in the class. Tell me what your pattern meaning is, and speak up so everybody around us can hear. You get the shy types, you get the outgoing types. What you really want, though, is to make sure that first of all, you have a well-trained instructor, and then also have somebody that's really vested in your growth as an individual.
No, that's pretty incredible. Hey, for a second, let's go back to this after school care, because this is something that, I mean, as a parent, this is a massive issue.
Oh, now you got them interested.
No, it's beyond interested. I've been interested. So when my kids were smaller, I had them at Montessori school. The main reason is because it was from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. I mean, it was long enough. My wife's a flight attendant when she's out of town. I have a business. I had to actually do stuff, you know. And then even I had my kids here yesterday working, and it was a nightmare. You know, it's this is not a very kid-friendly environment.
Yeah.
I mean, they do pretty good, but it's still like, oh, man, that's like going to be $10,000 of damage. Hold on. So for the school pickup, how many days a week are y'all doing this program? And which school districts are you approved to do pickup?
We're with the LISD school schedule. So whenever they have school, then we'll go pick up the kids. If school's
Denton
out,
County? Denton County?
yeah, I think it's Louisville and Flower Mound, whoever's LISD. But we try to maintain a radius of about 3 miles from our school.
Okay.
For pickup, just because of time picking up the kids at like 3:00, making it back to the studio, so we have time to also go over the leadership curriculum. We make every kid dress into their uniform, so as soon as you get there, get into your uniform, treat the after-school room the same way you treat the inside of your training facility, the dojo, as we call it.
The dojo.
so I want them to have the respect for the studio. They come in after school, they're wild, they're having a blast, and then all right, let's tone it down. Let's focus on what we got to do. Once you get this done, then we can have some fun. We can play board games, stuff like that, until your class begins. Their class begins. They have a wonderful class. If their parents haven't gotten there at that point, then they can hang out with us until about 6 p.m. When pickup time is. But no, it's a wonderful
That's pretty
thing
awesome
for the kids.
No, I mean, is this something common between other types of martial arts studios, or is this sort of unique to you guys' studio? This isn't something I've heard about much.
Yeah, you don't see it much, and I think hopefully you feel this is from our perspective. We want to be part of the community, not just a business in the community, but part of the community. So that's helping the families and taking care of the kids and being involved. And so we do this program. It's 5 days a week, and then when like Friday's early release, we're coming up on the holidays. We have a daycare camp, so we'll bring the kids over after early release, and then during the holidays we also have camps, spring breaks and summers we have camps. So the parents again can work and do what they need to do. Their kids are taken care of by somebody that they are familiar with, and they know they get their martial arts training while they're there.
You're doing training. You also know the philosophy behind it and the discipline. That's pretty freaking awesome,
Dude, these guys are so heavily involved in the community. My son was in their Christmas parade.
You'll do the Christmas parade.
The Flower Mound Christmas parade. He had to walk far, but he loved it. It was a great experience.
Now, how much capacity do you guys have? How many more students can you take on right now, or families for these different programs?
Endless. It's endless.
So okay,
let's go.
It's such a wonderful studio.
Yeah.
It is.
Hundreds more.
Let's go.
Okay, so you've got room, and then you bring on more trainers and students, staff, or
Yes.
as you need. Okay, very cool.
Kind of ties into the next question. Obviously, you as a franchise owner, you eventually want to open up more franchise locations, hopefully. And what is it that you're looking for in your next James, your next sensei? What is that you're looking for?
Oh, James is one of a kind.
He is, man.
It's hard to replicate. We actually have a second location already.
Yeah.
It's in Little Elm. But you want an instructor that not just knows martial arts, and you find a lot of schools that you go and visit, like they have a great guy who does martial arts, has no idea about the business side of it, nor, taking care of the kids and making sure the kids are growing emotionally and mentally. So that's the great thing about James is he's really focused on the kids and how to grow them, even the adults, right? Like he's very close, intimate with those, and I think that's an important part of it. But just finding someone that cares and is there, it's dedicated. I mean, it's nights and weekends, it's long days. James, does an amazing job of just always being there for us and always being there for the kids.
Yeah,
it's hard, because it's a lot. He's got a family too, so he sacrifices for the kids in the studio.
No, there's a couple times where me and the wife got into it. We're just like, hey, we're gonna call
spar.
Sensei.
Listen, we need a little referee. Let's just put the mitts on.
No, I just say I'm gonna call James, and his attitude. Woo!
I'm thinking in there like I'm gonna get her to tap out. Come on, let's go. So do y'all do also adults?
We do. We have a blended system for the adults as well as a jiu-jitsu program right after that. So where if you want to come in and learn just jiu-jitsu, you could come in there and do that. I know a lot of people when they're older, I would say over the age of like 30, you start getting into a routine and it's hard to break that routine. And so I'm there to constantly, mainly the people that I have in my adult program would be parents, because I want them to experience what their kids experiencing as well. Everybody should do martial arts. It's such a joy to train. And so I'm a big believer that martial arts is for everybody. If you have red blood pumping through your veins, you should do it. But it can be hard. It can be hard to have somebody that believes in you and wants to see you train and do better, whether it's just to lose some weight or whether it's to become a martial arts expert. Those are things that you can achieve, and why not do both? Why not learn something cool while you're losing weight and getting into shape and building yourself up? It's just going to improve your confidence as an adult as well as a kid. So
one of our students is actually a 70-year-old man at our Little Elm location.
No way.
He's a third-degree black belt, but I talk to him sometimes, and he's like, I just do it. He's like, I don't want to spar anybody. Like, I just do it to stay in shape. You know, it's great physical work. You get a real good sweat, and he's like, I just do it to stay in shape. And I thought that was really impressive.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So for people to join, how do you guys have an intro class, or how do people sign up for that? Like, what's the
best way to sign up?
Yeah, if you check out our website, it's problackbelt.net/Flower Mound. You can send us some of your information, and we'll reach out to you. We'll schedule a time where you can come in, either to our adult program or with your kid, and let them experience class. Let them train with the best.
Free intro. There's a free
Absolutely.
intro class. Yeah, come and try it.
What makes our
Try before you buy it.
What makes
Let's
our
go.
academy so wonderful, I believe, is the students that we have.
Yeah.
Without the students, I wouldn't have an academy to even talk about. So, all of the hard work that they put in. Whenever I do have a new student in class, it's incredible to see how they act versus how the people that have been training with me for months and months, how they behave in class. There's a big difference, and so I think the parents see that. From the second they step in, like, I want that for my kid, and I make it possible. I let them know that they're not far off. We just gotta keep encouraging them, guide them in the right direction, and I'm there for them. The parents want that. I want that. I think the kid wants it as well.
I think one of the things I love about our program, and having been a martial artist and having to have done this in the past, is a lot of martial arts schools, the majority of them make you sign a 1 year to 3 year contract, right? You're not just going there.
I didn't even know that.
learn.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
A
you're
3-year
locked
contract?
in.
Yeah, well, even gyms used to be like that. That was just the old business model.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to lock you in for a year, 3 years.
Yeah, we're no contract. You just come through the trial class, and if you like it, then we sign you up, and you go month to month. And
There you go.
if something comes up or there's a conflict or you change your mind, you can just
You don't have to get your lawyer
Yeah,
to say that you
opt
moved
out.
to Alaska to be out of the
Yeah,
mile
exactly,
radius to
right.
be able to freeze your membership. Or
I think the other thing I like about our program, and I didn't know this having grown up in martial arts, and I didn't learn it till James was teaching and met some of the parents, is it is really great for ADHD kids. Like,
Really?
it really helps them out with focus and stuff. And my daughter has it, so saw a big change in her. I mentioned that, but also a lot of kids with autism or on the spectrum
Really?
do really well. They
Really?
thrive in that environment. So I was surprised to find how many kids that we have that, but that's great. It's an amazing activity for them, and it really helps them work on focus and discipline. And it's impressive.
Who did we just interview? One of my clients, Katrina, who owns 5 autism clinics.
Wow.
So I need to hook you up with her.
Yeah.
And guess where
Yeah.
she lives? Flower Mound.
Oh, wow.
I need to connect you with her.
Yeah.
She's awesome, man. She's incredible. This question's for Mike. Mike, what advice would you give for entrepreneurs that are interested in maybe starting a franchise with Pro Black Belt Academy, or just anything in this world?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an amazing opportunity. My wife and I have loved it. It's an investment for sure, but also the thing I love about it is it's got purpose, right? And
Yeah.
I'm a military guy myself, retired military.
Yeah, there you go.
And for me, it's important to have purpose behind what I'm doing or what we're doing. And so to see that we can impact the community, the kids, the families in that community, that means something to me. So that's inspirational, right? Versus just opening a barbershop or something where, you're just doing the job and moving on. So I love that about it. And I encourage James and the other locations, like, hey, we got to be in the community. Like, we have to do these parades. We've got to be out there, at the festivals and things like that. And they're really great about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, that's all I got. That's great.
well, I've got more.
Oh, go ahead. Go for
I know
it.
we're getting shorter on time, but
Yeah,
no,
but no,
thanks
go
so
for
much
it.
for out sharing. So what I see is I don't know, maybe it's just my bias. I don't know, but to be able to encourage and push kids, I think it's pretty awesome what you're doing. Having after-school programs, you're actually building leadership, anything from public speaking to not just martial arts. So you're definitely a much more comprehensive program. I didn't even realize that coming into this. So I think that's pretty freaking cool. Do you feel like you've been able to get support from the local community through, the Chamber of Commerce, through the school board or things where they're like, okay, we see this as more than just a martial arts class? Like, are you guys been able to push that out there in the branding and let people know as much?
Yeah, the Flower Mound community is wonderful. The chamber's been extremely supportive.
Yeah.
And so has the schools. They invite us to their events. so we can go and spread the gospel of martial arts, and so to speak. But we want to be out in the community as much as possible, and Flower Mound's the best place for that. I think as for any business would be
That's
ideal.
awesome.
Yeah, we've seen that at both locations. We actually go to one of the local schools in Little Elm and teach PE classes there, where we do martial arts.
Oh, there you go.
We also go to some daycares and help with the littles. Hey, you want to get some exercise and a good workout and learn a little something along the way? We do that too.
Very cool. Yeah, I saw that also we were in the Montessori school we were in. They would have different people come and do like soccer class.
Yeah.
It wouldn't like all the time, but they'd come in once a week, or they would have one to be like a dance class or something.
Yeah.
So that's definitely another way to get to more of the younger people, especially the programs that have longer hours. So like after the curriculum day, they're kind of looking for programs too. But
Another thing I want to get into more, it's not on the list, outside the list, but I want to go more into, transitioning from one belt to another. That's a really cool experience. You have the entire family show up. Can you go more into that? I mean,
Belt tests are they're such a powerful thing. The kids have been working really hard for the time in between belts, and they receive stripes according to how much knowledge that they and understanding. If you can't do what I'm asking you to do, then you won't get your stripe this time. But as soon as I can see that you can do it and you do it well, then you'll get the stripe. They earn 3 stripes, a red stripe, a white stripe, and a blue stripe. Each stripe has their own unique discipline behind it. So you'll have the traditional katas that we do, the patterns, and they have to learn those. Those are excellent for focus, memory, and just making sure that you have a good base and you're developing some snap through your technique. The next portion would be the kickboxing portion, where they would learn how to utilize their kicks and punches in a combination, and as well as some movement. And then the blue stripe would be the jiu-jitsu portion. So once they learn all of those portions that they need for each belt, I make it look good, make sure that they're on point. They're doing it every class. When they could do all of that every class, I give them a black stripe. So they've already, if at that point, could get their next belt. I know you know what you need to know. Now let's put you under the pressure of all the eyes on you, perform, and so it's more of a ceremony of all of their hard work. And I want all the students to feel that I know you can do it. Now do it in front of everybody else. And sometimes you'll have people freeze up, and it happens, when you have, every family there, you have, 40, 50, 60 eyes on you, and you got to perform. You gotta speak out and tell me what your pattern means. What does basic commands mean? And it can be a little bit nerve wracking.
Yeah.
If you're 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. But I think in doing that, you further develop them as an individual. So when they do get their next belt, they're proud of it. And I tell the kids all the time, if I give you a black belt today, does that make you a black belt? And some of them are like, no. And I'm like, well, then why get a belt? It's really the effort that they put into it, and I make sure that they understand it's the effort that you put into each belt. That's the test. Because if you didn't put any effort in between belts, then you don't deserve a new belt. Well,
I feel like there's 2 areas that I feel like a lot of culture is losing right now is delayed gratification. That's a big thing. I feel like everybody's instant gratification. So this is something that you're actually working towards, where you're having that delay, and it's not instant. You're having to work for a while to really earn it. The other thing is a rite of passage. I feel like in the United States, we don't really have a good rite of passage, especially for men, but for men and women both. I mean, you don't really have a good rite of passage as you're growing and you're developing. So, I mean, to me, that sounds pretty awesome. Like you guys have a really comprehensive program not just to develop like martial artists, but to also develop people for the community, to build leadership.
Right.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
No, it was really cool. As little Alex in one of his belt testings, he had a hard time punching the the wooden
breaking through the board.
Yeah, breaking the board. He got a little scared, and then dude, everybody just started cheering him on. Just all his old classmates started cheering him on to get him going, and he finally, a little bit of help, he got there. So that was really cool, man.
I like
little
the
dad
belt
moment.
testing. Yeah, the belt testing to me is special because, right, it's competitive. They're out there in front of everyone. They're in the arena, right, with James watching them and asking them to do things and do their katas and answer the questions, right? And then at the end of it, right, they come up in front of everybody, their parents and the other students, and they're handed their belt like a military ceremony. You're handed a certificate and your belt, right?
Yeah.
And so they get to walk out of there, their heads held high, like I got it. I'm the next belt, and they put their belt on, and it's just a really big opportunity for just them to be very proud of what they're doing and accomplishments.
No, and to truly build confidence, and public speaking, and to be able to perform under pressure. I think these are skills that all of our children need these days. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Now Alex doesn't even ask me to tie his belt anymore.
No,
He's mad. He's like, no, Dad, I got it. Like,
he has. That's so cool.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, as you're a parent, you've got a daughter, and you've got kids also.
I have a daughter. Yep.
You've got a daughter. When you're looking at today's world, is there anything else out there that you feel is comparable? It's as this comprehensive to build self-esteem and discipline and the things that we're mentioning here. I mean, I feel like this is pretty unique in what you're offering.
Yeah. No, I can't think of anything else that offers the full roundedness of the development of a child, and the confidence and the protectiveness, and the assurances that they don't have to worry so much when they're out in public. And, it also, from my perspective too, like it makes them aware of their surroundings too, right? So when you're sparring somebody, you need to be aware of what's going on. When you're testing, you need to be aware of what's going on around you. And I think a lot of people walk around today and don't pay any attention, right? And I tell my daughter this all the time when we're out doing things at the mall, whatever. It's like, it's the people who are oblivious to what's going on around them that usually become the victims. And you don't do that. Like, she's always watching around, looking for threats and potential, things that might happen.
Yeah, the wolves take out the sheeple. I'll call those people sheeple, but
last time Alex, I'll never forget it. Really bad day. He went to the football practice. During football, they had a scrimmage. After there's football practice, and there's a scrimmage with another team, and it's flag football. It's not full contact, and obviously you got parents from the other side. Tackle him. Well, he got tackled, and it was tough, and he cried, and it was a scene. And I mean, I got parents up there like screaming on, like, "Yeah, do it!" And like, you just taught your kid to do something it's not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so my kid's crying. I'm just like,
we need to get your black belt and just go take this parents.
That's why he's with James, man.
My wife's always like, "Hey, man, you get it back." I'm like ready to get arrested at any moment. I'm kind of a loose cannon at the sports field.
I want to encourage the kids as much as possible to be dangerous, so to speak, but also be gentle with who you are as a person. There's a saying, it's better to be a warrior in the garden than be a gardener at war. And so being too soft is not a virtue. You gotta have confidence in your ability to speak up when you see that things are being done wrong, or and what's the worst that's going to happen? It escalates from verbal conflict to now physical conflict, but you're not worried about that because you've already dealt with that through martial arts training. And so I think creating leaders who can see what's wrong around them and to also be able to speak up is extremely important.
Yeah, I think we do a lot of focus on anti-bullying. And not bullying, because that's a big problem in the schools today too.
You've got the skill set to back it up, but at the same time have the compassion to be caring or look out for other children or other people.
Right. And if you're a parent, an adult, like, you've been around, you've been to school and stuff like that, it's the bullies, usually the ones who don't know how to fight, right? That are harassing and being that type of person. And if you're a person who knows how to defend yourself and knows how to take care of yourself, you realize, like, I don't have to engage that person because I know I could do something about it if I wanted to, but it's not worth my time and effort. And James does a great job of coaching the kids on doing that. Like, you've got the skill, which means you don't have to use it unless you're absolutely cornered and you need to defend yourself.
I think Alex was more like that 1.0. I think with you now, he's getting to that 2.0 version of himself a little bit. He's starting to be a little bit more daring. You know what I mean? Deal with a little bit more dangerous stuff.
Yeah. That's what I want.
So I definitely seen a massive difference. So it's definitely been awesome.
That's what I want.
Great experience, man.
It's a journey. It's a journey. You can't build it overnight. It has to be almost every day, or 2-3 times a week of experiencing it, and constantly thinking about it. In the back, what can I be better at today?
What do you recommend a parent, because this is a weekly thing? How many times of the week do you recommend a parent to bring to their martial arts school?
2 to 3 times. I would say 2 being the minimum. 3 times is a beautiful number, especially if you have a kid who is kind of unsure of sports in general. It's easier to be inactive than active, so yeah. I understand that's the first hurdle I have to get over. But 2 to 3 times a week is ideal. Usually, any more than that, what I've seen is kids get burned out of it, and their enthusiasm in each class just goes down. So I think having a steady number of times that you come, and how often you come, and how consistent you come,
and that routine, I think, helps. A lot of that is discipline and routine is going to breed competence over time. Also,
I think that's what I like about the after-school leadership program is they're there every day, right?
You're forced. We got to pick you up.
Their leadership training. They get the martial arts training, but James always makes it fun at the end of every class. Is a little bit of exercise and fun, which is great. But having it every day, I mean, that's an amazing. They progress a lot faster than the kids who come once a week or twice a week.
Now, for people who want to compete, do you guys also support traveling and competitions for sparring or jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, that's going to be the next thing.
We had 3 tournaments this year already. But yeah, we do encourage that. Yeah.
So for people who really want to take it to the next level as competitive martial artists, they can also have the opportunity to go compete.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's forms, there's weapons, there's sparring, there's several different types of competitions that we do at the
It's a full comprehensive martial arts, blended hybrid type of thing. That's pretty wild. Ninja stars.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Chuck, the nunchucks.
No, that's great.
So you'll have weapons training too, everything? Or is that sort of a niche, smaller group?
We will start the weapons training because we did just open up in March. So we haven't had any of the students reach that level yet to where the foundation of their martial arts is solid. And that's my biggest goal with every student, is that the basics become solid. And then once they get to about when they're about 7 or 8 years old, then I can move them into a weapons program to where they have the self-control built. They also have solid footwork and martial arts ability to hone a weapon, because a weapon is just an extension of what you've already been doing. So to teach them that it is an extra something that they can look forward to in their training that keeps them motivated. Like, I need to do the weapons. They go into it thinking that they're going to do weapons, and they see where they're going to do it, and so they have to reach that level. They have to keep training. So constantly motivating them through the system is important, but also just being clear with my expectations and how they can get there is also important.
Now, what's the youngest you guys take students?
3.5 to 4 years old.
Okay, so pretty young.
Yes.
Yeah, because so where my boys are doing jiu-jitsu now, they really wanted to wait, even though the other one's way more disciplined, the younger one, he actually pays attention. But they were like, they wanted to at least have enough size and things, because they were doing a lot of grappling.
Yeah.
So then also they don't have other students the same weight, then it starts becoming an issue too. So they're kind of starting at 5. So you guys are 3.5 to 4 even.
Yes.
Okay.
And you guys do other workshops too, right? Because I remember you guys had a workshop for women's self-defense training workshop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? Is that just like a week session, or
gouge the eyes out as fast as you can?
We do about an hour and a half for like lady self-defense. We plan on doing those once a quarter of the year.
Oh, nice.
So that way they can keep consistent with it. It's going to be free and open to the public. It's that way if ladies are interested in coming in and learning some solid techniques on like how to get out of a bear hug, chokes, if someone comes up and grabs you, anything like that. We want to spend the time to teach them how to do these things and how to survive and get out from the situation. But those things are fleeting if you're not constantly drilling them or working on them. So we spend a lot of time drilling these techniques in class, and there might be maybe about 7 techniques that we drill for an hour and a half. So it's a lot of time drill to build that muscle memory. And we do it consistently, every quarter of the year to make sure that it stays
Stay
sharp.
current, yeah. Stay on top of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Anti-bullying too. We do anti-bullying classes.
Anti-bully
as well
seminars for the kiddos. These are good things to talk about that aren't necessarily martial arts related, but how to deal with this issue that you're going to come across your entire lifetime.
Yeah.
And so to give them the tools necessary can be life changing for a lot of these students. But
And you guys do birthdays, right? Birthdays.
oh yeah, we do
Dude,
birthdays.
That was cool.
They're incredible. They're incredible.
James has this great ninja sword that he
He
uses.
just chops
Samurai
it.
sword
You
that
said
he chops the cake up.
you told me I didn't know what it was about.
Oh,
You said
yeah.
You're like
You throw it in the air like the slicing the fruit.
Yeah.
I tell the kids,
Ninja
it's
Ninja, is that what it is?
it's ninja tradition. If it's your birthday and you're a ninja, you got to cut your cake with a samurai sword. And so no, it's a wonderful time for also. If I have a student that has their birthday there, for them to invite their friends to experience their love for martial arts. I don't think anybody really has a birthday at a martial arts studio unless they love martial arts. They love the environment
already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a great thing.
Let's go.
Why jump in a trampoline park when you can go be martial art for the day?
Chop
this
it.
afternoon. Very
Chop
cool.
a cake, man.
I've got just a couple other questions. So, like, go ahead and get back on bullying. I mean, this is a huge thing, and cyberbullying, internet, things like that. What are a couple of principles you guys have that you're able to help, I guess, bring awareness to, or what's a coping mechanism you help teach or something?
Well, I teach them first and foremost to try to disengage from the situation and kind of look at it from a point of no emotion, just to kind of analyze what's happening in front of them, so they can see if they get emotional about the situation, it's going to be a lot more tough for them to exit out of that. So I think honestly, to teach them how to become confident in themselves and their skills to be able to disengage quickly, but also if it's consistent to be able to speak up also as well. So those are the two main practices that I'm teaching that are the most digestible for the younger kids, but it can be tough, same as anything.
Where's the balance between being a snitch and then speaking up for bullying? Because that's kind of an area I think as a parent, that I don't want my kid to be a bully, but I also don't want them to be a snitch. In a way, does that make sense?
I like how you said it. Disengage emotionally.
Yeah, to be able to stay emotionally separate. Also, they're not going to attack you because they usually are just trying to get a rise out of you. They're looking for weakness. They're looking for someone that gets an emotional thing. But also, I don't know. I'm at a point where might as well just be a snitch. I don't know. In today's society, because something can go south so fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and just talk to an adult. Let them know.
Absolutely.
In confidence, like, hey, listen, I don't want to be the snitch in the room.
You got to speak up.
Like, hey, this is going on, the situation. Because that's something I think we grew up in a time period that
Oh yeah.
if you were a snitch, you're going to get your butt beat. You know what I mean? So it's like,
stitches, right?
yeah, snitches get stitches. I mean, that was like a slogan. Everybody knew that. But I feel like today's society, there's a lot more awareness of hazing and things that I think there is a little bit of, I mean, I'm not anti-hazing. I think there is a little bit of earning a right to go to something. I don't know. I'm in a gray area of that. I don't think people should be getting tortured, or completely hazed. But
I think
there's a healthy amount of hazing personally. But
part of it is the disengagement, right? Don't let them see you get emotional about it, because that's what the bully's trying to do. They're trying to get on your nerve. They're trying to make you cry.
Yeah.
Trying to make you feel weak. And if you don't, if you're not weak and you have the confidence in what you're doing, like, you're just like, okay, it's not worth my time. But the other part of it too is, right, if you see somebody who's weak, who's getting bullied or threatened,
And stand up.
you have the confidence to stand in there and defend that person, right? So maybe not snitch, but definitely help out in the situation.
Absolutely.
and bring awareness to it. Because this is something, I don't know. I feel like even online, it's pretty wild the things people say online. I'm like, say it to my face.
I'm actually pretty surprised at some of these
Please
kiddos.
come and say it to my face. Please.
No, I'm
Yeah.
actually surprised. Like, some of these kiddos that are young as my kid have a cell phone. Like,
Yeah.
my kid's 6 years old and he wants a phone already.
Yeah, no, we're staying off.
Yeah,
of
dude,
And Roblox,
I'm
guys,
good.
watch out,
Yep.
man. There's a lot of wild stuff on Roblox. Don't even get your kids on there.
Minecraft, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, the forums and things on there.
Scary world
So
sometimes.
are y'all bringing awareness also to online things at all, or is it more in person and physicality type of stuff? Or
I have a wonderful group of parents who believe that being online and social media and things like that are kind of off the table. But for the ones that do experience it, I will address it. Talk about how to deal with that when it approaches you. But for the most part, it's about disengaging from your own emotions, which can be tough. But also, like he was saying, if you see someone also getting bullied, then you can come up and you can, hey, be my friend, and speak up against the bullying, and bring them to karate. That'd be the best thing. So I want that for all my students, to be able to have the awareness of what they're capable of, as well as what a bully is really trying to get at, and it's not really something that they need to participate in.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Well, thank you guys for what you do in the community here. Little Elm, I mean, right here, Flower Mound, all these areas. Yeah. So right now we're in Grapevine, so this is our neighbor basically. You guys are pretty close by. This is amazing. Yeah, I didn't realize what we were walking into. Alex, thanks for bringing them out today, man. This is pretty cool. Awesome. No, because this is what we need. We need more confident, stronger, community-oriented students and younger people. This is our next generation we're raising right now, and I don't feel like there's a lot of great programs for that anymore. There isn't. Even neighbors. I have post-COVID. My kids were at a school. They made them wear a mask. I pulled them out of the school. I'm like, no, my kid's not going to wear a mask at 2 and 3 years old. This is how are you going to learn to. One of them was in a German school. They speak German, and I was like, boy, how are you going to learn to speak German if you're wearing a mask on your face? That's stupid, So pulled them out, and then I have the creepy kids. I don't know, the children of the corn. They're in the elevator making eye contact, talking to people. They're like,
I got the neighbor children of the corn, man.
I make my kids
are like, I
make my kids do it all the time. They're all like, oh, this little kid, okay. But it's something you have to instill in your children, and. People, I think the more distracted they are with social media, that I think it's great you guys have something for people to come and engage, to have the opportunity to develop these skills, because if you don't have the opportunity, you're not even going to be able to get it.
Yeah.
You're really creating.
And a very special thank you to James. James, dude, my son is completely transformed.
Thank you.
Like he's like a new kid. He's confidence and his a little bit more work. But that's why I always ask James, is he ready yet? And James will be like, he needs to work on this. I love it.
Yeah, and there's a level of like being honest to people. I don't know. I think a lot of people are always sugarcoating things, or it's just a paycheck, to build this. I think that's pretty cool.
No,
I'm going to have to bring my boys out sometime.
Yeah, bring them out.
Yeah, I'll bring them out. Schedule wise, with the sea, I don't know if we could get up there 3. We're here, but we live in Euless, so then the distance is going to be with logistics and things. But I still would like to get out and get involved with you guys' program.
They'll love it. You have to bring them all the time then.
You got an after school program. Then you got to drop over there. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you.
Yeah, this is great. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks again for spending time with us today and sharing your story.
Sweet. Rock on.
Beautiful.
You're famous,
Is there
man.
anything else y'all want to go over?
You're good?
Yeah,
Was that fun?
It was fun. Yeah.
I got them all.